If you're letting your music drive what you're doing, then there'll always be that magic there. Smile.
What's new now for you? Yeah, you said you wanted to don't force the writing process, but how will it now evolve when the record is released? Will you continue the pace that you wrote it, or is there some things that come along that has
What do you mean?
Yeah, well, you said you don't want to put much pressure on the writing process, so now the record has been made in a relaxed vibe, so to say.
Yeah.
And now it's done. Will you continue now, also after the release of the project, to work in that same vibe with touring or playing? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, and I think you do put pressure on yourself. Even, I mean, you don't give the wrong impression that it's completely spaced out. You're still putting pressure on yourself to get it right, but not the pressure to deliver at a certain date, and the pressure that it has to be a certain type of commercial. I mean, we all just said, oh, we didn't expect it to be played on the radio by anybody, because of this kind of climate in general. So there was no consideration that it had to be a certain type of sound or anything, because producers are all kind of trained to think like that as well. And we didn't. We just made it for ourselves. And I think that's the principle, where you're playing live, you have to do it so that you're happy as well, and we're not doing it for those kind of reasons.
Yeah, my last question.
Last question, yes.
No, because your success was maybe before the whole downloading era starts.
Absolutely.
So is that now that you sort of harvest the fruits from that period, that you still now have more freedom to work in this way?
There's I mean, the quantum shift from buying CDs to downloads and YouTube and all the rest of it. Yeah, I mean, it's great. It's great on one hand, and also it means that it's more difficult to make a living out of selling records, but you adapt and find a different way of working.
Because isn't this, your first record actually was the best-selling debut after Oasis or
something like that? Yeah.
But isn't it strange that in a way that with such a successful start that selling-wise maybe it goes downwards? Is that strange for you? Maybe now looking back on your career.
Well, no, I don't think it's strange. I think that everything changed, and then it's basically nobody's really kind of like booming as much, and there's this like tiny thin bracket of artists who are affiliated with big companies who have sponsorships, and they are on adverts and in soundtracks for movies and everything, and it's all kind of a network of influences, but there's not many of people. Most musicians aren't in that group, so other bands, they're just they're more independent now, and you just have to see it as a good thing and not.
But do you think you will be able? You can reach now also a new younger audience, maybe because some of maybe your early fans are now older, and now you release new records, and so you have to maybe look for different ways to reach younger kids maybe now who just go on the internet to find out new music. Is that strategic that you, or perhaps you want to follow, or you just make you see how?
Yeah, you have to be aware of it. You have to be aware of how people listen to music. Otherwise, you don't stand a chance. But I mean, no, it's a great. I mean, the great thing is nobody really sure which way it's all going. But at the end of the day, radio and TV and magazines, and they are all kind of still the main ways that people hear about music. So, the internet is the kind of it's like the support, and it's great. It's great because it allows you independence.
Yeah. Really last question. Do you think that the impact that Kula Shaker had when it was unleashed upon the world, would that still be possible today in a way, maybe by another band, like different influence back into popular music more?
I think absolutely, of course it is. I mean, the main thing is it's all about timing, you know. And if a band or I mean, we're talking about bands now, but it could be anything. But it's all about, you know, an idea or a kind of a mood, a style, a message, a passion that, you know, when it's your time, and nothing can stop that, you know. That's meant to be, and people connect with what you're into, and it's a really exciting. It's really exciting when it happens.
Yeah, well, you made it happen in a way. Thank you for.
No, we didn't. No? We didn't make it happen. That's the thing. It's when it's your time, and you can call it luck or karma or fate or whatever, but it's actually very mysterious how it happens.
Okay. You think that time for you or will come again one day, or is it still there? Or?
Well, that's a particular type of thing where you explode on the scene, and that only ever happens once, and then afterwards, it's different after that, you know.
More difficult also?
It can be more difficult. I mean, actually, that was a very difficult time for us as well, you know, dealing with, you know, being worth money to people. But if you're letting your music drive what you're doing, if you're letting your passion drive what you're doing, then there'll always be that magic there. And maybe who can say what, you know, who can say what's to come?
We'll see. Thank you for your time.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.